Hi YouTube, it's Ty, and I'm here with another call-in stream, another call-in live stream, getting myself set up for just in case we have some calls to come in. This is a suggestion from Tracy from A View from Tracy's Point, and it's just a reverse on one of the topics that we did before. Checking my mic to be sure that it's on. So we asked the question two live streams ago, I think it was, can Black people date or marry interracially and still be pro Black? And so now we have a slightly different question, as you can see in the title. And I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, anyway, the question is, can white people date or marry interracially and still be racist or ultra conservative? Hey, American Copperhead, how are you doing? This is Tracy's topic. Tracy from A View from Tracy's Point. So we just kind of flipped the script on one of our last live streams, and we're going to see what people think about this. Happy New Year to you too. I hope that your 2019 is getting off to a wonderful start. My dogs are in here, of course, wanting my attention because I am on YouTube with y'all. Rocco, go get in your bed. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, y'all. They need to go to sleep. I was gone overnight, and so they just want, I guess, a little bit more attention today. So anyway, I'm glad that y'all are here with me. Thank you for the thumbs up. Whoever that was, I appreciate it. Yes, the cuties are getting on my nerves. But right now I'm getting set up to go into the conference call. And you all know how we do this. We're going to, thank you for that second thumbs up. Hey, Rido boy, thank you for coming in. I appreciate your being here all the way from the UK. I miss them too. I really did miss them too. I did. Like, I just should have stayed with them last night. I probably would have had more fun. I miss my babies, but oh well, it is what it is. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank you, A View is a View. I appreciate you always. She's one of my big timers, y'all. I just get excited when she comes in the building. I get excited when all of y'all come in the building. Thank you for that third thumbs up. I do appreciate that. Let me get myself dialed in for my call in. All of my stuff is rearranged because I straightened up a little bit before I left. Good afternoon to you too. A View is a View. And I hope that everybody's 2019 is getting off to a lovely start. I am making the best of mine. Got off to kind of a bumpy start, but hey, it is what it is. We'll recover, right? Let's see here. I am getting on this live stream. So I'm getting on the line so that I can call in and open it up. Hey, Deshaun on the track. I love you too. Thank you so much for coming in. You have no idea how much I just appreciate you all just being here. It means a lot to me. Out of Indica? What is that? Animation's real? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. Is that a movie or something? If it is, I'm lost. Whatever it is, obviously I'm lost. Thank you for coming in, though. You know, I appreciate that. I'm getting dialed in, y'all.
Please enter your PIN number.
I have a secret PIN number that I cannot tell you all.
Thank you. Joining the conference now.
Okay,
you are currently the only person in this conference.
All right, and that's our lovely hold music. I'm going to turn that down. And we have another 4 minutes for you all to start dialing into the stream before I say this topic is a dud and we have to move on. But I believe that I'm going to get at least one call before the 10 minutes is up. So y'all know we go to 10 minutes to see if we get a call, our first call, so that we can keep the stream going, hopefully for an hour. And we're at the 4 minute and 20-second mark right now. The call-in number is 1-347-514-7210. It is a conference line, so you'll need the PIN number, which is 168-5373. And so this is Tracy's topic. I don't know if you all read what the topic was before y'all came in, or if y'all just came in because y'all just wanted to support Ty, whatever you did, I appreciate it. But the question is, can a white person date or marry interracially and still be racist or ultra conservative? I'd love to hear what y'all have to say about it. Now, this is based on something that happened personally in Tracy's life, and she said that she'll probably call in if she sees us streaming. I'm sure she'll come and pop in and give us her take on the whole thing. But until then, would love to know what you all have to say about it. Let's see here. Trying to read these comments. Oh, you're watching Silver Bullet. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a Western, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. Y'all know I don't know my movies well. Sipping some water and trying to get over this sickness still, you guys. I feel a lot better, but not 100% just yet. So we're going to keep the stream going for 10 minutes at the very least. And if after 10 minutes we don't have a call in, we'll just scrap this subject and say that it just wasn't meant to be, or maybe it was a better subject for another time. That call-in number, it is in the description box, but in case you want the call-in number, it's 1-347-514-7210 with a PIN number of 1685373. I hope that y'all's 2019 has gotten off to a great start. I hope that this is one of your best years yet. I hope that you spend it doing whatever it is that you love to do with whomever you choose to love. And let's just make it great, you guys. Let's help each other make it great, right? We have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on this topic before we will have to end the stream if we don't get a call, because the point of the call-in is for you all to call in, for me to get to listen, rest my voice. Y'all get to hear me all day, or at least for 2 to 4 hours straight on Sundays when I do my Sunday Fun Day streams. And y'all be hearing from me a lot more because apparently the rumor is that YouTube's making some changes pretty quickly. And you know what? I just have to stay on my YouTube grind. So I'll be on here probably more than I planned, even for the beginning of the month. So yeah, I'm with Animations Real, even though we've never had it before. Let's make 2019 great again. Let me go on and turn up the volume here on this call because we have a caller on the line. So hello, caller. Will you please tell us your name and from where you are calling?
Hey, it's Copperhead.
Hey, American Copperhead is on the line. Okay, so she's keeping the stream alive for us. How are you doing on this January the 1st of this brand new year?
I am so tired. Oh my gosh, I think I drank too much last night. I tried to do one of those fruit mix thing where you just throw all kind of liquor in with fruit.
Yeah.
And it didn't come out right, so I just kept adding stuff.
Oh no. So is it today I saw trending on Twitter National Hangover Day. Is that where we are?
Yeah, that's exactly where we are. That's pretty much it. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, I don't drink. I tried to drink a little taste of something, but it didn't agree with me. Everybody always is like, you know, try this, it's so sweet. You want it? And everything I taste tastes just like burn going down my throat, or the strongest, you know, cough medicine I've ever had. So I just don't enjoy it. So I'm fine. I'm 100% fine. Got up and live streamed this morning, doing a workout, and I feel back to normal and ready to go. So
Awesome.
Thank you. Well, thank you for calling in and getting in on this subject. Animation's Real. Excuse me, I just wanted, before you get started, Animation's Real. I saw your text. I will text you back on that. I guess if there's a story. But okay, I'm sorry. So again, we got American Copperhead on the line, and I guess you have some thoughts on our topic.
I did, but I was trying to understand the question a little more. So,
okay,
because I believe that in the other comment she said ultra conservative.
She did, and I put both. I put racist or ultra conservative because I kind of felt that that's where she was leaning, and maybe didn't want to say that, but I don't mind saying it. So we can leave it at ultra conservative if you want to say that. Can a white person be in an interracial relationship and still be ultra conservative?
Oh, and see, that's what I'm saying, because I don't necessarily believe that if a person's ultra conservative, that you know would make them racist, or
I don't either.
You know,
and I'm separating those two.
Exactly. So I understand why you did that. That's why I was asking. But yeah, I believe they can. I believe they can be in an interracial relationship and be ultra conservative as well.
I would agree. And for the record, I believe that Black people can be ultra conservative as well. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm listening to you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I was just, it's just basically beliefs, and certain traditions in certain ways, but it doesn't necessarily, I mean, a lot of people that are conservative still, socialize or interact with other races, and they don't believe that their race is, better than any other race. They just have certain, traditions that they like to keep to. So as far as ultra conservative, now as far as a racist, I mean, they could be in an interracial relationship, but I don't see how they could truly love that person because, they're going to automatically assume that that person's race, there's something wrong with that person's race. So no matter how passionate or how much they desire that person or, are sexually attracted to that person, there's no way that they could possibly, truly love that person, respect that person because they see them as something different.
I would agree. They'll never see them as their equal if they truly believe that their race is superior to the person who they're in the relationship with.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I would, okay. So, and I do want to separate the two because I don't want to make it seem that I believe that conservative equals racist. I don't. Hi, well, thanks for coming in, and thank you for coming in, Gray Man Outdoors. So yeah, it's really two questions. I did it as a slash, but I just didn't have enough space to write two separate questions for the title of this video. So I don't want anyone under the impression that Ty thinks that conservative equals racist. But the reason that I wrote it that way is because of the way that Tracy framed the question to me, because her concern was that someone she knew who's in an interracial relationship was contributing to the whole Fund the Wall campaign. And so she's like, how can you be like that? And so I do think that reeks of racism, even though, some people might not. I do think that there is just a racial undertone that goes along with that wall. So that's the reason that I framed the question the way that I did. And I think that they are, again, two separate questions. Are you familiar with anyone who's been in a relationship either way where we're saying it's a white person who's in a relationship? It doesn't just have to be a Black person, but have you seen a relationship where there's a white person, man or woman, in a relationship with anyone who's not white and they are ultra conservative, or you believe that they are racist? Because I've seen those relationships.
I've seen them too. The only one that really comes to mind, though, that I knew personally was a friend of mine. We were 10 years ago, we were friends, and a real cool person. And she was married to a white guy, and I don't know, it was weird because, he was, I don't know what it was. He was pretty into the Black culture, as far as the way he dressed and the way he acted. But then she told me that, he had a temper on him, and then she told me that one time he called her the N-word.
Oh.
Called her a nigger. And I was like, what?
Whoa.
I was like, no, dear, no. So,
no.
Yeah, he was, something was wrong with him. And so she ended up getting a divorce from him and marrying some other guy, a military guy and stuff. But yeah, he was, something was up with him. Sometimes you can't put your finger right on it, but he met him and hung out with him for a while. He had some serious issues, but from the way he acted and behaved, you would never think that he was a racist, but you don't say that word unless you are a racist, in my book. You know what I mean?
Yes, so. I agree. Okay, now tell me this, since and we might go off on some tangents. I'll try to stay, but this, these topics, they can take us to so many places. What do you think about white people who date or marry Black people who use the N-word. If not to necessarily call someone that, but like in a song, or or if they use it the way that Black people say they use it as a term of endearment. Oh, I'm just hanging with my niggas. Or, how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about white people using the word? And are we talking the N-I-G-G-A or the N-I-G-G-R?
Let's say A. Let's say A. I think that there's a difference. For me, not much. I find them both offensive. But let's say A. Let's just say it's just, some white guy or some white girl in a relationship with a Black person. And they, oh, man, my nigga's coming over. Or, just, oh, my nigga this, my nigga that. How do you feel about that?
Well, honestly, it doesn't bother me, and unless the N-I-G-G-E-R, because that's to me is something different. But the N-I-G-G-A, it doesn't bother me, and the reason it doesn't bother me is because I've seen Black people, when I was growing up, Black kids or teenagers or even adults use that term towards the white people that we hung out with. So, it wasn't a big deal for me, but I can understand how some other people it probably would affect them differently. But it's just in today's age and, everything that's going on, to me, it just isn't a big deal. I grew up around that stuff. I think I've commented on that before, but I've grown up around where, everybody says it. So I don't personally use that word. But, I have other people that use it, and, they're not, trying to be disrespectful or anything. It's just a term that they use, so it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it?
I'm disgusted by it, like on all fronts. Whether it's really? ER or A, I don't want anybody using it around me. I don't like it.
Right.
And I do see how people, make the I guess differentiation when it's a hard ER versus an A on the end. It does have a bit more of a sting when it's a hard ER. But I'm particularly concerned when I know that there are people who would say NIGGA around some Black people, but they know better not to do it around others. Then to me, that tells me that that there on some level is a problem with it. Like I don't like seeing guys who will use it around Black girls, but they'll never say it in front of a Black guy. Like to me, that tells me that that there's an issue. But yeah, I don't like it at all, and I know that there are tons of there are tons of Black women and men who don't care about people using that word around them, especially if it's NIGGA, oh, these are my and it's let's face it, people who they use that word whether they're talking about, they don't even have to be talking about Black people. I see Asian kids calling each other niggas, and I don't understand it. I don't like that either. And I just, for me, until I see other races of people start using the words that are derogatory towards them as terms of endearment, I won't accept it. When I just see, Mexicans lovingly calling each other wetbacks, then maybe I'll accept it. Or, when I see white people, being all happy about, oh man, that's my cracker homie I grew up with in Trey Park, then maybe, but no, until then, I just don't see myself accepting it. But, I know that people do, and it is what it is.
Right. Now let me ask you a question, because this has been a thing for me, right?
Uh-huh.
The word bitch. Bitch has always been, a derogatory term. But people use it nowadays, or even, for a while now, as like a loving term. Oh, that's my bitch, and all this. And I'm like, okay, to me, it's sort of like the same thing. People do it. I don't understand it. I don't like it, but, I know they don't mean anything negative by it. So that's. So do you see it in those two terms? Can you see it that way too?
Yes.
That people are just using it, they're not meaning it in a negative way, but it's just like a trend or whatever, and people just use it.
I do. For some reason, though, for me personally, the term bitch doesn't sting as much as the term nigger or nigger.
Oh
But no, I see it's being used exactly the same way. Just like, the way that we used to say homegirl in the 80s, that's what they mean. Oh, me and my bitches going to the club. Me and my bitches look good. And it's just like, okay, if you and your bitches say so. Like, but it stings my ears. But it's in some of the most, cutest, educated, women you'll see around. Like literally doctors run around. Me and my bitches gonna take a vacation to Europe. Oh, me and my bitches, it's like hashtag me and my bitches, all over Instagram. And it's like, oh, if y'all say so, but one of my bitches might get slapped in the mouth if she comes up approaching me like that. It might be me and my bitches gonna be fighting, like.
Exactly. I just don't get it, and it does. It stings every time, they'll use that towards me, and then I'm like, okay, so I guess we're not that good of friends, because if you were my friend like that, I don't like that fucking word. But but it's just one of those things. Yep.
Yeah. Good comparison. Great question. Great question, because I do think that that gets a little bit overused too, but it's thrown away in very much the same way as NIGGA. I would agree. And people just don't think anything twice about it. No, it's used very much the same way. 100%. Anything else you want to add to it? I'm enjoying the call.
I did want to, because I did have a story to tell.
Okay.
And when I was younger, I was in high school. We had this discussion with our teacher, and a white girl, she's like, says, well, if I use that term, maybe it's just because I'm angry. It doesn't mean I'm racist, And I've had to tell her. I'm like, well, if you use that term, then you are racist. You're in the back of your mind. You're saying that because you're thinking a racist thought,
right?
But you wouldn't call a skinny person a fat person, because to them,
right,
they're not. To you, they're not fat. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't call a white person a nigger, because to you, they're not a nigger. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, but you use that term even though you're not willing to understand it or accept it right now. You're using it because you have racist thoughts.
Right.
Like, now, if you're racist, that's on you, but, know what you are.
Yeah.
Don't sit here and try to play like that's not what you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, why not say dag nabbit or gosh dang it or something? Like, niggers, what pops out of your head when you get angry? Like, really? That's
right, exactly. And if you're saying it in anger, it doesn't matter. It's because it's in the back of your head. You've been calling that person nigger for the entire time. Every time they upset you, you had that in the back of your head. So I was like, don't pretend to be something you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't give yourself a pass.
Right. I mean, if you don't like being a racist, if you don't like racist, then work on that. But don't lie to yourself and say that's not what you are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Oh God.
And I'm saying, it's like I could be prejudiced against you too. I mean, if I called you a cracker or whatever, then in the back of my head, I'm being prejudiced.
Right.
I'm a racist person.
Right.
I mean, but I wouldn't call you that. I would call you ugly or something like that, or maybe you're obnoxious, but I wouldn't call you something that I don't call you in the back of my head. So
exactly.
Just one of those things,
Yeah, like do you use
that was interesting.
Do you use the N-word when you're just angry because you stubbed your toe? Or, do you use it when you get angry with Asian people? Or is it just so, come on, stop it.
I know, but she really believed that was the thing. She really believed that, and I think a lot of people are like this. They really don't see themselves as being racist because they don't like the idea of being seen as racist. And I'm like, if you don't want to be a racist, you got to work on it. You know what I mean? Find out within you what's going on with you that makes you feel that way.
I 100% agree. I feel like a lot of people want to exhibit racist behavior but not be called out on it. Like, I want to act like a racist, but don't call me a racist. I have black friends, and if your black friend is Stacey Dash, that doesn't count. And so, they just don't understand it. But yeah, I know what you mean. Oh my gosh.
I always thought that was interesting.
Do you see this comment from Animations Real? He says Real uses the N-word while eating barbecue. Shut up, Animations Real. I'm guessing with an A, not a hard ER at the end. Gray Man Outdoors says there's no real derogatory name for white people. I agree. I think that there are things that we can that can be said, like honky or cracker, or white boy, stuff like that might be offensive. But nothing has. There isn't a word in the English language that that nigger has an equivalent to. Not a word. Not one word. But yeah.
Do you think that may be because you're speaking from a Black person's perspective?
I think that it could be, but I've said it to a lot of white people and they tend to agree. I think that when people aren't being disingenuous, that they can agree with that. It was like that was just a word that was made up specifically for the denigration of Black people. It's not like crackers aren't a thing that exists. You can go buy a fucking box of crackers. You can't go buy a box of niggers anywhere. You used to be able to in the 1800s, though. That's a word that they made up for us, And so I think that that's the difference,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I can hear what you're saying, but I do think that there are other words out there, not nearly, like you said, not nearly as powerful as nigger. That you just, for anyone, that is just you're not going to find a more derogatory word out there than that. And I agree with you, but there are some words that are going to be hurtful to other races too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No Mexican wants to be called a wetback. No Asian person wants to be called a chink. Whether they're and all Asian people, when people decide to be racist, they get grouped into the one category. They're all chink, whether they're Chinese or Korean or Vietnamese. No, nobody likes that. Nobody likes it. It is offensive. Is it as offensive as nigger? I don't think so. I just don't.
I don't think it is either. It just,
And I don't think, and that's a good question. That's a fair question to ask. Is it because I'm a Black person? Is it because I'm only coming from my perspective? But this is just the kind of stuff that I talk about. This is like what I'm talking about when I go to a New Year's Eve party. It's probably why I don't get invited a lot of places. But this is what I talk to my other friends about. Like I talk to my other friends of other races about this kind of stuff. I always have.
And they get uncomfortable?
They actually talk to me. They don't.
Oh, they do.
They don't, because I'm not coming in some offensive manner or like, in some threatening manner. So what do you think about the N-word? Say something wrong and I'm gonna bust your motherfucking teeth out you. No, I'm just coming because I want to have a conversation. And I'm always, calm and cool and I'm just listening. And sometimes I hear the answers that I would expect someone who calls themselves my friend to say. Sometimes I don't. And I know, okay, well, I need to be careful around this one or probably cut this one off. But I just listen. Because I feel like that's how you get somewhere. You just kind of talk and listen.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally hear you. Yeah, and it is, I think that we all need to communicate more and ask these important questions so that we can, learn different perspectives. Because my perspective isn't always going to be right. I have, a strong opinion and everything, but, it's always good to hear other people's perspective and then to reflect on that,
100%.
Okay, well, he may have a point that way. I didn't think of it that way. So I just wish we would all communicate a bit more and without being so aggressive towards one another.
Me too. And that's exactly why I do this, because I realize that I'm talking about things that make people uncomfortable, that people aren't comfortable talking about. But I think that those are the conversations that humanity needs to have. I don't know another way to say it, but I feel like we need to talk about those things that are uncomfortable if we're ever going to understand each other. Like you said, you're highly opinionated, and I am too. And I think that most people are about something. Everybody has some strong opinions about something. And it's not that we'll necessarily change anyone's opinion. Opinions are rarely changed, but so many things I think are about perspective. I don't think that everything is just actual factual or black and white or right and wrong. Can you just see where I'm coming from? Can you understand that from my perspective, I don't see it your way because this is how I grew up, or this is how I live, or this has been my experience. And that's all that it is, which is, another reason that I want to later this year, as this year goes on, I want to open the floor to some conversations about, LGBTQ issues. As a, person who's been hetero all my life, I don't know anything about what it's like to be gay or to be transgender. And, I see some things differently. I don't feel like I can judge anybody about it, but especially where transgender women are concerned, I have some issues that I like to discuss with some transgender women and get some things cleared up. But yeah, I feel like we gotta talk to each other and listen to gain perspective, even if we don't change an opinion, just to gain perspective and see each other as human. That would be good.
Right. And I gotta tell you, if you do that, I'm here for it, because I have some questions of my own that I'm curious about as far as transgender women. It's but again, you don't want to offend anyone, but I am genuinely curious about some things that they have going on.
I am too.
Need to understand. Or
Yeah.
would like to understand, rather. Yeah.
I am too, and that's actually a comment. I have a gay friend I follow here on YouTube, who was defending a transgender woman. He watches Love and Hip Hop and he reviews it. And on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, there's a transgender female character who was introduced this season, and he felt like she was being judged unfairly just because of her transgender status. And now what I saw was a girl coming on, and she does look very feminine. And I've learned at the very least to call them by the pronoun that they want to be called. She looks very feminine. And I think if I didn't know that she was born a man, I wouldn't know. Apparently she still has her penis. She opened up like basically one of her scenes doing this freestyle rap about how she looks so good and she has a dick. And I'm like, what? And so of course the person she was rapping to, who didn't know she was transgender, was confused. And he's there trying to, all that he knows is that he's meeting her because someone wants to have her to work with him in the studio. And so he's trying to okay, well, what? Because he's just trying to see what she's working with as far as her musical talent is concerned. And so obviously he's getting thrown for a loop because she keeps talking about how she has this dick and she's so hot and she has big tits. And so what? And so when all is said and done, he actually gave her some constructive criticism, which is probably more than I would have been able to do. I think that my jaw would have been dropped onto the floor. Like, what did I just witness? But my friend who's gay just said, well, she shouldn't even be trying to deal with these guys because they don't want to deal with anything LGBTQ. We just need to do our own thing, yada, yada, yada. And so I had to let him know, I'm like, you know what? This transgender thing is new to a lot of people. I'm like, gay, I've been understanding since I was in middle school. And I've had friends who were gay. I've had friends who were openly gay since I've been in high school. I'm 42 years old now. But transgender thing, it's new. And so y'all are going to need to give us time to catch up and understand what's going on, because it's new to us. But I said, I told him, I feel like some people are afraid to say anything that comes across as even halfway critical of transgender people, because they feel like it's an attack on the whole LGBTQ movement when you say anything about anyone. And it's like, no, we're people just like anyone else, and they are too. And they just, they're not above reproach just because they're transgender. And so and so he was like, yeah, you're right, or whatever, after all was said and done. It wasn't like I was trying to start an argument with him, but the point is, we don't understand. And so y'all can't just, no, we don't think that everything every transgender person does is great. And frankly, it feels like every LGBTQ person that Mona Scott puts on any of those franchises, 11 Hip Hop, it seems like she finds the most obnoxious, loudest ones. It's bad representation for them, I think. But I think that because they feel so underserved, they feel like some representation is better than no representation. And I can understand that too, but give us a chance. Give us a chance. We don't understand it.
Right. Yeah, and that would be a great topic. I'm totally there for that. I mean, I have my own, I think I made a comment on one of your videos last time about that. I have my own opinions about that, but I'm one of those people. I want to live and let live. If you're not hurting anybody else, you know what I mean? Do you? Do what you got to do. The thing that irritated me about the other thing was that they were putting their ideals on children, you know, and confusing the children. That kind of pisses me off, you know. Give a kid a chance.
Yeah.
Give a kid a chance, and if they get older and they decide they want to do whatever, you know, or even if they get to the age of 16 and they say, hey, I want to do this, you know, as long as that child isn't hurting someone, you know, let them explore, but it really pissed me off. Like, how are you going to sit there and say, okay, we're not going to refer to this child as a he or her? I mean, that's just confusing that child and placing your ideologies and the you know, your agenda on that child, and it's not fair to do that to a kid. But I mean, let them grow first. Let them you know, have a normal life. Yeah, it just pissed me off. But
yeah, I know exactly the topic you're talking about.
You know? Yeah, I don't hate anybody, but to me, I'm gonna just be honest with you. It's just, it seems like there's something wrong with them. I'm not saying gay people. I'm saying transgender people. It's like if I'm a couple, maybe a shade or two darker than you, and if I all of a sudden decided, well, I want you to refer to me as a white person. I'm a white person now. I feel like I've always been white my entire life. Somebody made a mistake when I was born black, so now I want you to refer to me as a white person, and you're gonna look at me like I'm crazy, as you should. You know what I mean? I need to accept myself, You know what I mean? So to me, it's sort of like that when it comes to transgender people. It's like they not only want you to not hate them, which I don't, like I really don't. They want you to actually buy into their delusion, and it kind of, I can't do that. I really can't. I can't do it. It's no hate towards them. I hope they live a long, happy life, but I can't call a man a she because he decides he wants to be a woman. I can't do it.
And that's how a lot of people feel. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. You know, I was a dance major, so being around being around gay men is nothing new to the kid, you know. And one of the people, hi Jay Bodega, one of the people who, Happy New Year, y'all know I had a crush on Jay Bodega. So anyway, it is what it is. He's very nice looking, and anyway. So I well, let's put that out there, whatever, y'all already know. But yeah, gay men, that's nothing new to me at all. But there was a gay man who taught dance classes that I was taking in Houston, who transitioned into a woman after I stopped taking classes from him. I didn't know that he was going through this transition. So he is now a she, but like when I met him, he was just a very effeminate man who dressed in women's clothes. I mean, like it was a really hot dance class that he taught. And he would wear like his, you know, it was one of those classes where we danced in our heels and everything. And I have a caller on the line, so I'm going to finish this up, and then I have the caller on mute right now. But we would dance in our high heel shoes, and he liked a lot of Michael Jackson music for some reason. He was young, a lot younger than I was, and so it was kind of surprising to me that he wouldn't do like a lot of like more current artists, but he liked to choreograph to like Smooth Criminal and shit like that. I'm like, this is odd. But so me and my friend who would go take classes, we would just call him Michael Jackson because he loved to choreograph to some Michael Jackson all the time. But like a few years later, I had posted a video from a dance class that I had taken with him. And then one of my gay friends from high school let me know, oh, she's transitioned now. That's Jessica. And sent me some pictures and everything. I was like, and I mean, looked like a woman, and he didn't have that far to go, honestly, because he kind of looked like a woman when I met him. He was like, it was weird, but so yeah, like it's still, that's new to me. It's very new. I don't, you know, I can rattle off a lot of gay men I know and friends with and hang out with, but transgender is new. I have another transgender friend who is in transition now, who listens to my show, and who, there were 3 at one point, but there's this one who listens to my show and who mentioned some things to me that happened with her, I will say, over the holidays, and that were not good, and would like for me to talk about transgender issues, which is something I want to talk about anyway, just because I want to understand it. But I would love to have some transgender people in on the conversation, and not just all of us saying they crazy. Like it's got to be more to the conversation than that. And so
exactly, I totally agree, and I would love to hear their opinions too. And of course, I would be respectful, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm just truly interested. Yeah, but T.I., it's been awesome.
Thank you.
I want to let you go, because I know you have another call on there. I'm taking up far too much of your time.
Anyway. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You helping the show move along. Thank you so much.
No problem. Catch up with you later.
Okay, love you, American Copperhead. Have a happy 2019. Okay.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, caller. Will you tell us your name and from where you are calling?
Happy New Year. This is A View from Tracy's Point.
Oh, yeah, we have A View from Tracy's Point. Before you start, A View from Tracy's Point, she has already typed in the chat. Please go and support her channel if you're not already. She has amazing content on there. And I know that when she finds her tripod, she's going to give us some more content. And if somebody is willing, report one of her videos, because that might get YouTube to look at her. And I'm being dead ass serious. Report one of her videos and say it's in violation of something, or that it's offensive or something, because she is somebody who has a channel that literally some of her videos have more views than everything on my channel. And she was eligible for monetization for her channel like 3 months before I was. And somehow she got skipped over for monetization. And I hate it. But I don't have nearly enough people subscribe to my channel so that I can even contact someone at Google to try to make a difference. So I'm asking y'all to support her. And if somebody's bold enough, go in, report one of her videos for something, just so that maybe YouTube can look at her stuff and say, oh, we need to go in and monetize her. Because I kind of feel like that's how I got monetized when I had that somebody went and reported one of my reviews for Hell's Kitchen and I got a community strike against me. It was when I appealed it. It was when I appealed it that YouTube finally was like literally within the same week that they reversed their decision and allowed me to keep my video up. Like right after that, my channel got monetized. So I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe that's the only way to get somebody over there. And Gray Man Outdoors, thank you for that support. He says, let's report Ty. Let's all report Ty and get her some traffic. Please don't do that. So anyway, leave me alone at this point, please. Okay, so Tracy, thank you for calling in. This is Tracy's topic that we're discussing today, and we've been off on several tangents with American Copperhead. But Tracy, just tell us what you think about this whole topic. The question is, can I've altered it from what you asked me to, because it's actually 2 separate questions, but I didn't have enough, characters to put it the way I wanted to. So the question is, can a white person who's in an interracial relationship be ultra conservative? That was Tracy's question. I asked also, can they be racist? And so I put that slash. And so I don't want anyone thinking that I believe that conservative and racist are the same thing necessarily. Yes, do they go hand in hand? Sometimes, but that's not the way that she asked. She asked, can they be ultra conservative? And so I just going to shut up and let Tracy take it away.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for all the love that you always give me on your channel, and I'm so happy that I found your channel, and I did find my tripod, and I sent the video, and I saw you on Twitter when you said that you were setting up, and I was like, oh my God, I hope I haven't missed this video. But the reason I asked that question in response to your original question, which was about the pro-black, can you be black and in an interracial relationship and still be pro-black? Yes. So I think I mentioned to you before that one of my daughters is married to a white guy. And I really like him. He's a very nice guy. I love him to death. But he started to get on my nerves because they had a baby back in November.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out to visit them. And so I'm sitting at the table and I'm working on something. And he comes over and he had this picture. And the picture was of a baseball team. And I don't know if it was like a team from maybe Cuba or somewhere. But everybody on the team was a different shade of black or different shade of brown, starting from very, very light to very, very dark, and then everybody had a number on them. And he came over and he was like, "What color do you think my son's gonna be?" And so I was like, "What?" And then he said, "I'll pick a number. What color do you think he's going to be?" And I said, "Boy, you don't get up my face." And then he was like, and he laughed, and I said, "I'm not laughing with you." And I said, "I'm not entertaining this conversation."
Yeah.
And so since that conversation, he's done other things in the past, like when they did the remake of Roots, he called me, and then he was like, "Did you see the original Roots?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, can we talk about, the differences between that one and the new one? And do you really think slavery was that bad?" And he just comes out of mouth with the craziest stuff.
Oh, God.
What really made me ask that question, despite all the craziness that he does, is he asked my daughter last week, could he donate to the wall?
I'm still stuck on. I'm still stuck on, was slavery really that bad? I'm sorry.
Yeah, she is all the same.
Has he been listening to Kanye West or something? I mean, what? Oh God. Okay, because I knew about the wall because we discussed that. I didn't know that he asked you, was slavery really that bad?
Yes, and I told him, I think when he called me about the Roots show, I said, I really thought my daughter really, really loved you, but I realized now she really didn't like you that much. And he was like, "Well, why do you say that?" I said, "Because there's no way in the world she gave you my phone number and told you it was okay to call me and ask that question." And he was like, well, I just want to know. And then I was like, he's serious. Like, he is really serious. He really wants to know.
Oh, my God. I don't. Oh, wow. I don't even know what to say. Have you talked to your daughter since he's had these conversations with you?
Oh, yeah, we talk all the time, and she's sitting right there. So just like when he had the picture with the baseball team, I'm looking at her, and she has this look on her face like, "Cut him out. Just cut him out."
I mean, that's like, are we at Home Depot picking out Glidden paint swatches, for the new basement? Like, no, like, well, this is a little too dark. Like, no, your child's going to be what it's going to be. Don't ask me what shade of. That's so weird and creepy. I don't know what to think about that. That's weird and creepy to me.
And somebody asked me, a friend of mine said, "Well, do you think he's racist, or do you think he's just one of those people that?" They said, "Do you think he likes black people in general, or is he racist, but he just happened to fall in love with your daughter?" And I said, I mean, like, if he never opened his mouth, you would really like him. Like, he's a really nice guy, a lot of fun to be around. My other daughter goes to visit them all the time, and they have a great time. But then just every now and then, he lets stuff come out of his mouth, and I just be sitting there like, what is wrong with him?
Oh God. I don't know what to say about that. Now, okay, let's get to the wall though. I mean, okay, so I would now, if I were your daughter and I were Mexican, I'd be particularly offended by that. But I don't even know. I don't even know what to say, Tracy. Like, I don't. But yeah, I mean, it does seem like when you just tell me these these particular instances, it does seem like he'd be more with the, Tommy Lauren or whatever the hell, that bubble-headed white girl with the blonde hair, who's like always saying conservative stupid shit. And not to say that all conservative shit is stupid, but you know who I'm talking about. It seems like he'd be with a girl like her, but and I don't expect, I mean, obviously, Black people and white people are different. And it's not like I expect for him to just feel every way about everything that Black people feel, or that majority of Black people may feel or whatever. But that is a little creepy to me. I don't know. And it's very odd to me that, cause he's talking about the child that was just born in November, right? Asking you what shade it's going to be. Like that's, to me, it wouldn't be as odd to me if she were pregnant, because everybody kind of like, even when it's like two Black people, everybody's like wondering what the child is going to look like, and that's part of what a child looks like. But the child is here, so like it's less abstract, and maybe it's going to look like what it looks like now. I guess he's waiting to see, like, once the sun really hits it, and like, I don't, did y'all tell him to look at the ears? That's what all Black people always say.
I told him to look at the ears and the fingertips before he came over. And I think it was after I told him that he came over with the picture, because he realized, oh, my child really look like a biracial, like people gonna know this is a biracial child.
Oh my God. So he's wondering, is it gonna be like more biracial Lenny Kravitz or more biracial Lisa Bonet? And that concerns him. And for me, it's always strange when white people who procreate with Black people are concerned about what the skin color of the child is going to be. I would say it's, likely that the child could be as dark as your mate, or somewhere in between. And that's just what it is. But like, to think that, we're trying to like figure it out, like, we're buying Behr paint, and that's weird. I don't know what else to say. Because honestly, I'm sitting here trying to catch up to real time, but I'm still stuck on, was slavery that bad? Was it really that bad? Well, from all the journal entries I've read from slaves, the ones who were allowed to write because it was against the law and you could literally have your hands cut off for reading a fucking book, the ones who were able to get their stories written down, they didn't make it sound very good, And so it just amazes me that anyone would ever ask that question.
And then to ask a Black person that question.
Yeah, like, I mean, and I guess if you're going to ask someone, I guess a Black person is who you ask if you, I guess, want the truth or whatever. But there was nothing good about I mean, like, I guess I would have had to answer his question with a question and say, do you really think it was that good? Like, we were trying to get out of it. Like, if it were so great, we probably wouldn't mind still being slaves. But it's not like, it was it that bad? I mean, as if there were so many other options, because that's kind of like taking me back to Kanye's comment. Well, like, why'd they stay in it so long? As if, 100 Negroes could have just left the cotton plantation to go work in Marshall's. Oh, fuck this slavery shit. I'm putting in me a application to Discount Tire. Like, no, that's not how it works. So I don't understand that. That's really weird.Maybe, maybe have him watch Underground with your daughter.
He used to watch Underground, and a lot of times in the beginning I used to think, okay, he just doesn't know what to say. Like, he wants to have a conversation with me, but he just doesn't know what to saying he knows, oh, well, she's watching this or she's watching that. You know, like he's all into tennis now, you know, and he'll call me and say, well, did you see Serena play? Like, he never asked me about any of the white players.
Right, right.
Serena, what do you think of her?
Right.
Like what?
Right.
He's so special, and his family. Now I can say his family is racist because they actually got kicked out of a restaurant one night when his brother came to visit from Arizona. Somebody paid his tab, and the people told him to get out.
Whoa.
And that was during the election time because they were arguing about Trump.
Oh my God.
His brother said that this is the worst time to be a white man in America.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Right, she was like, how in the world can it be the worst? When is it ever a bad time to be a white man in America? So then all the families started arguing.
Oh no.
Somebody paid the check because they were sick of listening to them, and the witches came over and said, your bill has been taken care of. You all can leave now.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot imagine being so obnoxious in a restaurant that somebody's willing to pay my tab just to get me to leave.
And I asked my daughter, well, what were you doing? She said, I really tried to ignore him. And he just kept going, and she was like, and then I'm looking at my husband, like, will you tell your brother to shut up? You know, and then the sister-in-law was like, this is so embarrassing. Like, why are we having this talk? So they were just, I think it was about 7 or 8 of them at the restaurant, and everybody's yelling and like, shut up, you know, just shut up.
Oh my God, that sounds that sounds like something from some crazy sitcom or like, so, that's crazy. So what was her husband, what was your son-in-law saying while her brother's going on about how tough it is to be a white man?
So basically telling him, like, shut up, you're not going to sit here and talk like that in front of my wife. And she was just like, I said, girl.
Oh my God.
And so I'm sure it was somebody in that restaurant recording that conversation, like, this poor white girl over here, you crazy white
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hi, Nerd of the North. I see Nerd of the North just came in. Thank you for coming in. Happy New Year to you too. So to answer the question though, your question, I would say that the answer would be yes. Can an ultra-conservative white person be in an interracial relationship, whether it's with somebody who's black or brown or whatever, and be ultra-conservative? Can you be ultra-conservative and dating or in an interracial marriage? I would say yes. My issue is where, you know, it crosses the line, where ultra-conservatism crosses the line with racism. And I still say the answer is yes. And I don't know if you were listening earlier, we had American Copperhead on the phone, and she was telling us a story of some black woman she knew who was married to a white man, who seemed very cool, seemed very much into black culture. She said from the way he dressed and talked and things of that nature. But when he got angry with her, he called her the N-word, hard ER on the end. And yeah, so that, but you know what, that happens. And I've even done a video. There was some football player, they weren't married, but there was a football player that I did a video on, who all of a sudden wanted to expose his ex-girlfriend now that she wants child support from him, and, you know, expose her as a racist and say that she called him the N-word multiple times, you know, when she would get mad at him. And that's what, you know, there will be women and men, white women and men who are in interracial relationships with black people. And when they get mad, the first thing they want to do is call you an N-word. That's a racist. You know, they might be sexually attracted to you. In this guy's case, he was a football player. She might have just been sexually attracted to his bank account. And, you know, well, she's probably one of those who was praying when she was pregnant with this child that it doesn't come out too black like him, you know, and hopefully, you know, once I'm done with him and can get this child support for 18 years, I can get, a white man who will take in this little baby, and hopefully it don't look too black for him to want to take in. That's kind of what she was giving me, and that does happen. That happens. And so, can ultra conservative, but yeah, I'm gonna say yes, because, and there are some black people who are ultra conservative, who would share those views. But now, do I think that it's odd if, someone who's ultra conservative, a white person who's ultra conservative, is married to a black person or a non-white person who's very much on the opposite end, or who's very much a leftist or a liberal or something? That's kind of strange. But I think that it happens. I know friends of Uno's mom, who it's a white man and a half white, half Korean woman. She looks Korean when you look at her, but her father's white, her mother's Korean. She's very liberal. He's very conservative. They just don't discuss politics. They've been married. Huh?
I was going to say, my daughter's very liberal, and so like the whole thing with the wall, it really upset her, because when you see Peaches, it's predominantly like Hispanic and white kids. She doesn't have any black kids at her school. So she's like, this is really, really offensive to me. And she said she was like ready to pack her stuff and leave. Like, what is wrong with him? And she said he thought it was so funny. And I was like, what is funny about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So do you know, did they discuss their politics before they got married?
Yeah, they did. I mean, she knew he was conservative. She knew all of this about him.
Okay.
But I think she was just so in love with him, and he was so in love with her. And I remember at their wedding, you could tell that he may kind of be like the black sheep of the family. And so I was asking her when we were talking last week, I said, well, do you think he does some of the stuff he does because he's kind of like torn between his love for you and wanting to fit in, and, with his other siblings who I have nothing for, because I know they racist.
Right.
So he kind of like torn between those two lifestyles. And she was like, I don't know, but I know I have a black son now, and he needs to get with the program.
Yeah, and is the way that you say that, I kind of feel like it very well could be. It's something about, and I don't know like what kind of relationship he has with his father in particular, but there's something about boys who grow up into men who still need their father's approval, in particular. And so he probably feels like, hey, I've already probably done the worst thing that they think that I could have done. I need to, in some way stand with my family, because that's still how he was raised, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's still how he was raised. And so maybe he does just do that out of some kind of twisted allegiance to his family. I don't know. It's all so weird to me. I thought that this would be more simple when you call, but girl, I'm still on the was slavery that bad. Who the fuck asked that question? What kind of a moron thinks that slavery was in any way easy? Like, there are numerous studies that show just when slaves' graves are dug, how worn and torn the bones are, that the muscles were falling off of the bones before these people were even dead. They were fed the way that pigs were fed, the ones who worked in the field, and just because you worked in the house and you might have eaten a little bit better, dressed a little bit better, didn't mean you weren't getting raped every fucking night. Like, there was nothing wonderful and pleasant about slavery. We didn't take boats from Africa ourselves to just come to America and work for white men because we heard that there were good opportunities. No, even the journey here to become slaves was terrible. So many died and were just thrown overboard because they were either dead or too sick to work well once they got to America. That they were just, shark food in the Atlantic. Nothing about it was wonderful, y'all. Nothing about it. And so if anybody, I don't think that anybody in my chat would be foolish enough or moronic enough to think that there was anything good about slavery. So I pray that I'm preaching to the choir right now. But no, like, and obviously I can't talk to your son-in-law about it, but that just, like, I'm still stuck there, and I don't want to make this call about that because that's not what we're talking about. But I'm stuck there, and I'm sorry, I'm human. That's a terrible question to ask someone. That's crazy.
You know that you took it further for him and was like explaining to him, like, as bad as slavery was in America, it was 100 times worse in the Caribbean islands.
Yes.
And I was telling him, I said there were like less than 400,000 slaves brought from Africa to the U.S. Mm-hmm. But in Brazil alone, there were like 14 million because the life expectancy of a slave that was taken to Brazil was like 3 years. Mm-hmm. And they would like die, and then they just go get some more.
Yeah. Like, I mean, people keep cars longer than slaves were kept in the Caribbean and in South America. Right. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, as bad as it was for us, you're absolutely right. It was uncommon to see like girls who were born, like they had islands that were specifically for breeding. Antigua and Barbuda, our sister islands. Barbuda was just an island that was strictly made for breeding, just for breeding. The women were there to get fucked and create big black people to work. And yeah. And to see a girl who was born into slavery live past the age of 12 was rare. So yeah, it wasn't that good for anybody who might be wondering. But yeah, that's.
When I saw that post, I was like, "Oh, let me ask her this because it's on my mind. Let me ask her what she thinks."
Well, no, and I like that. I like that you kind of just took a topic that we already had going and just flipped it. Because obviously, me being a Black person, I'm kind of gonna talk about things, from more than likely a Black perspective. But let's get into the heads of white people too, and because it's not only Black people who watch and who tune in and who call in and who type in the chat and everything. So, I like that you flipped the script on this and asked the question that way. I love it. But
what were you talking about with the when I called you, I was just getting to the channel where you guys were talking about the transgender.
Oh yeah. Okay. So me and American Copperhead went off on several different tangents before you came on. I think I recall went about 30 minutes, and we were just talking in general about the kinds of topics that I want to talk about, because I realize that I talk about things that are, controversial and things that people might not be comfortable talking about. But I feel like if we can just, talk. Everybody's opinionated, and it's not like we're necessarily going to change anybody's opinions about anything. Then, but I feel like we can at least, maybe, the next white person won't look at Black people as all N-words if they could just talk to them, because it's so funny. Like, some of the most racist white people have never even met a Black person, but they just know they don't like them niggers, but they never seen a Black person in their whole life, and I was saying, I feel kind of the same way about transgender, and, and even I'll say, LGBTQ, to me, to me, it's still a little bit weird that all of that is grouped into one, because I certainly don't see gay and transgender. Yeah, to me, it's like, obviously they have different letters, so they all mean something different, but I wouldn't group those things all together. I understand gay very well. I don't understand transgender at all. The notion of it is something that's fairly new to me. But it's something that I want to talk about because I have a lot of questions, and really, I feel like I would need some transgender people And really the questions that I have, I guess, are about women, transgender women, because I'm a woman. You know, I'm just always kind of concerned about things from my perspective. But I would like to get a conversation going with some of them on, because pretty much, you know, it's like if it's just like me and the people who come here, everybody's gonna be like, oh, they crazy, that's some bullshit, I don't understand it, that's gay, that's that faggot shit, you know, whatever. But I think that there's obviously, you know, more to it than that. Will everybody accept it and or whatever? No, not necessarily. But, you know, for me, as long as everybody's not, you know, calling them names and killing them, you know, that's good, because so many transgender women just get killed, you know, just, you know, for no reason, just for being transgender, because somebody doesn't like it, you know. And it's just, I don't know. I just want to talk about it because I have a lot of questions. There are times when I feel like a lot of LGBTQ issues are put above the issues of other people, and like they might feel like heterosexual people have a privilege that they don't, and I think that that's true, but I think that also heterosexual people feel like, you know, enough of this with y'all, like some of this is just too weird, you know. And so like let us catch up to it. Like we got questions, or just because we criticize what one particular transgender person is doing doesn't mean that we're criticizing all of the whole existence of LGBTQ plus people, you know. And so it's just like I feel like heterosexual people are at a disadvantage when it comes to, you know, just making criticisms of one individual person who might be lesbian, gay, bisexual, gender. Then it's like, oh, well, you're homophobic and you're transphobic. Like, no, I'm just saying, I don't think, like, what was the situation that came up with what is it, like celebrity Big Brother? I think that a transgender woman kissed Genuine or something, and he didn't like it, and so everybody was accusing him of being, you know, transphobic, when it's like, no, that whether it would have been a man or a woman or something in between who kissed him, you violated my space. You're kissing me and I don't want you kissing me. So the same thing, like if a man were to come and kiss you that you know, saw in a grocery store, nobody's going to be calling you heterophobic. You don't want this person up in your space. And so it's like whatever happens with them, I feel like it gets taken up 10 notches just because they're transgender. Like, no, nobody's saying they hate trans women. Stay the fuck off of people, though, whether you're a man, woman, or whatever, you know. And that's my thing. Like, it's issues like that I don't like, you know. I feel like heterosexual people get a raw deal when it comes to stuff like that.
Right. Well, before you do the video, I want to recommend that you go to. Do you follow Funky Geneva?
I do.
Did you see his video last week about the transgender and cisgender?
I haven't seen any of his stuff in a while. I do follow him, but like I can only take Funky Dineva in spurts because he can be a little bit much for me sometimes, you know. And so it's like, you know, maybe every month I'll probably see about 4 of his videos, and I know that he churns them out like several a week, but I can't do Funky Dineva like all the time.
Well, watching it, I was so angry. I didn't even watch the whole video. I was so angry, and I put my little comments in the comment section. But there was a lot of Black women on there that were so upset. And actually, I think the video started out about is a transgender woman fighting a woman that was born a woman, the same as a man hitting a woman. It was something stupid like that. And should transgender women be allowed to compete in female sports? So then he gets into this thing about cisgender. And I'm like, Lord, these folks be popular. They done created their own.
I know.
Dictionary. So basically, we're all cisgender because we identify with our birth part.
What does that stand for? Because when I hear people say cisgender, to me, it sounds like what they're saying is just people who identify as what they were born. But I don't know what cis actually means. It looks like it's CIS. gender?
Right, CIS, and that's basically what it is that it's an emotional attachment to how you were born. If you were born with a penis or born with a vagina, you have an emotional attachment to being a woman or a man.
Okay, so what is cis short for something, or does it stand? Is it an acronym for something? Do you know where the whole?
I don't know, but it got me to thinking. So when transgender people be calling you cis, they're not saying SIS.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cis, and then
you. Yeah, and I picked up on that. I picked up on that, but I just don't because I heard them say it they say it about men too. Like and I typically hear it when it's like something that they are saying is like, you know, toxic masculinity being spewed. Then they'll say it to guys. Conscious. You know, and so I need to look that up though before I do that discussion, because I wonder what that means. Like, because not knowing what it means, but just hearing the way that I hear it said, I don't want to be identified as cisgender. So if you want me to identify you as transgender, that's fine, but just identify me as a woman. I'm not a cisgender woman. I'm a woman. I'm not, you know, like I don't need any of these new age labels on me. I'm just a woman. That's it.
Right, but the new age label is to get you to stop seeing yourself as a natural woman and this person as a person that's transitioned into being a woman. It's to see us both as same and equal.
No, and we're not.
Like, until you get some ovaries and birth some babies and have a monthly cycle, you're not a woman. I don't care what you say.
For me, if you this is where I've evolved to this point as far as trans is concerned. Because for me, I honestly used to be just that person who said, that's a man in a wig. That's a chick with a dick, you know, and now I realize that that's not the, you know, nicest way to look at things. And so, you know, when the whole pronoun thing came up, I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. But now, you know, I see it now, and it takes me actually talking to someone to actually try to, okay, that's a human. They want to be called, you know, woman, and whatever I want to be referred to as, that's what I want to be referred to as. There's some Black people who like being called African Americans. There's some who like being called Black. I prefer to be called Black. You know, if you see me and you know, don't know what my preference is and you call me an African American, I'm not going to get offended. But if I tell you that I'm Black, then please, that's what I want you to call me. Don't call me Negro. Don't call me colored. You know, don't call me anything else. And so as far as, you know, okay, so I can say, you're a transgender woman, then I'll use the her pronoun, I'll use the she pronoun, but I'm going to make the differentiation, or the difference, you know, is going to be said when I'm talking about it. There are women and there are trans women. I can't, it's not the same thing. Like for me, for Caitlyn Jenner to win Woman of the Year, you know, just for becoming a woman, no, like.
But didn't even become a woman because he still has a penis.
In his eyes and in so many people's eyes, though, you know, and I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but you know, like that's not the Woman of the Year to me. Like, you know, like when they're real, you know, say that he's the Trans Woman of the Year. You know, like Serena Williams was walking the earth, and somehow, you know, and I know, you know, like we've gotten in our thing about Serena, but you know, I'm just saying, whoever, Patti LaBelle, whatever, you know, Hillary Clinton, and you know, I don't think anything of her, but I'm just saying there are these women who were born women who've had children, you know, who are walking the earth, and that's who, you know, was it Time Magazine or was it ESPN or Sports Illustrated who decided to name it? I can't remember who it was, but it's odd, you know, it was frankly very odd to me. And so I don't know. I don't know. What's going on with all the retractions and deleted? What the hell is going on in the chat, you guys? Can y'all please stop? Seriously, like, and it looks like it's all. It looks like it's the men fighting this time. Last time it was the women. Can we?
Gray Man Outdoors and one other person. They've been going back and forth for a while.
Okay, right up, boy. Can you wrench some things? Is that what you're? Okay, is that you're in there? I guess regulating with your wrench. Okay, yeah, please. I don't want drama. I know the stuff that we talk about is like heavy, but let's just be mature. Can we talk about things without name calling? Yeah, I'm not reading my chat because I'm trying to focus on my caller. And so I trust the people in my chat to just be mature enough to, carry on conversations without me having I've never had to do this other than one other time. And those two young ladies don't come back to us anymore. So it is what it is. But yeah, we can have conversation without name calling, y'all. Please chill out, please. So yeah, I want to get into that though, Tracy. I want to have those conversations, and I'm curious to know what trans women think, because I don't think that all of them are like so agenda driven that they feel like they need to refer to all female born women, I don't know another way to say it, as cisgender. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I feel like that there is a very loud, vocal minority of people in the LGBTQ community who, want all this newfangled stuff done and who are pushing some crazy agenda. And so, I don't know.
I think you're right, because most of the people I know that identify as being gay, they don't identify with the LGBT community.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like so they say that's it's an agenda. It's sort of like the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement doesn't really speak to all women.
Right.
It's people trying to push a feminist agenda. But they're using tactics to get the rest of us to come along with them and support what they're doing. And that's sort of how it is. Like, I have a niece who's gay, and I didn't know, like, they have racism. Like, racism is a big issue within the gay community.
Mm-hmm. I hear about that. I hear Black men talk about that.
Right. So it upsets her that they want to jump on the civil rights movement and try to make the civil rights movement their platform, which you say they are just as nasty to Black people and exclude Black people the same way the heterosexual people do that they claim to be fighting against. So it's all crazy.
It is. And I follow a number of gay Black men on YouTube, and I hear them talk about those things as well. Like kind of saying that when it's time for LGBTQ this, well, where are we included in that? Because we're not getting any extra rights. We're not getting, whatever. Nobody's speaking up for us. We're not being represented. And so they feel like that's, that's really for white people, or else that if it is for Black people, that Black people are getting the leftovers. They're still on the bottom of that totem pole too, So yeah. I would like to have some LGBTQ discussions, because a lot of the people who I know who are LGBTQ or who would be thrown into that category, they don't consider themselves a part of that movement. Just like, you mentioned with Me Too, the women I know, a lot of rational thinking women, in my opinion, don't associate themselves with that Me Too movement. Like I said, I feel like it's been hijacked by white elitist Hollywood women, and it wasn't created for them. It wasn't made for these women who make $20 million a picture because they fucked Harvey Weinstein. That's not what it was for. So I just, thank you, Rido Boy. As hard as I think I need you to moderate, I feel like I should have paid you £2 today, but thank you for that super chat. I appreciate it. I Without a Face. I think that's a new name here.
Yeah, right. Without a Face is right. There's two levels of people, rich and poor.
You're right about that. And I feel like Without a Face, if if Black people and white people and other races of people and all of us, whether we're hetero or LGBTQ, could realize that, then we would kind of like switch the us versus them, and we'd all band together to try to do what we could to make things better. Because like, yeah, and I feel like, the rich who control the media do what they can to just try to divide everybody else. And so like they have all the poor people fighting against each other. And, meanwhile, it's for their entertainment. They're laughing, eating caviar somewhere, and they're the enemy. And, but we're the ones in the fight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all good. Well, hey, as long as everybody can, make up, and now we have to hug it out because we're not in person, but let's just move on, because and I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention to what's going on, but I'm trying to pay attention to my caller, and I just haven't been really good at multitasking. My brain is fried these days because y'all know I'm still studying for my construction management test. So yeah, I'm enjoying this conversation, Tracy. Anything else you want to talk about? Anywhere else you want to take this?
I think that was it. It was just like when I see your topics, I was like, oh man, I wonder. Just like that reading a story about the nail person, nail tech getting kicked.
Oh yes.
I was like, oh my god, let's go find her on Twitter and then we'll tag her and then
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, like that's gonna be one for me to add for Sunday Fun Day. I gotta start pulling my topics together. I think so far I only have about 3 or 4 things to talk about for Sunday. And y'all know, when y'all are, oh, hey, M1 Uno, that's my honey bunny. He's listening in. I appreciate you. I'm always thankful when you're on here. He and I just went to Salado last night. I only got New Year's Day off. I only got today off. So we went there last night and got back today. And we're trying to get on track, for the new year. I love him. And, sometimes relationships get ill. And so y'all pray for us. But he's never asked me if slavery was that bad. We got our issues. Don't get me wrong. But he's like, well, babe, why don't y'all go back to slavery? I mean, he never said no shit like that to me. Good God. Hey, Instant Right. How are you doing, beautiful? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, hey, we are human, and we have our shit. But and we did actually watch. He rarely gets into the shows that I'm into, because I think he thinks that everything that I pick is kind of whack. Because the first thing I ever asked him to watch was The Tudors. He watched every season of it, but that was like early in the beginning of the relationship. I think he was just trying to impress me. But pretty much he kind of hates the stuff I watch. But somehow I got him to watch. I got him to get into Underground with me. And I think that he already had some, idea that slavery was bad, but I think that gave him some insight, and even me, because that show taught me a lot, and it had me looking up things. I'd never heard of Patty Cannon. I never knew that there was a slave catcher named Patty Cannon, a white woman slave catcher who was notorious and apparently very good at it, catching slaves. It was like I learned when I kept hearing things over and over on Underground, and just look it up and see, was this a real person? Was this a real place? Was this a real event? That's, because the research that they did to put this show together was amazing. And the research that I did just as a result of watching the show, I learned so much. And so I really hate that it didn't come back. But yeah.
I was explaining that to somebody on Facebook, because they was like, I don't understand why OWN and all these other people didn't pick it up. And I was like, because Oprah said it was too expensive. And it's like, well, she's a billionaire. How can it be too expensive? Because she wants to keep her billions. But it's just like what you were saying, the amount of research that went into that show. And and then they had the number of cast members. It wasn't just like 3 or 4 cast members. You had a whole bunch of people that needed. And then the locations that they were choosing to be them and everything.
Yes.
So Oprah was like, no, cannot do. But I love that show.
You know what I told Poetry, because she and I were both reviewing the show, and it seems that like when me and her review shows, they get canceled. So we were both, and that's how I met my Twisted Life TV with Poetry. But she did a live stream a couple of months after we saw that it wasn't going to get renewed, that we saw Underground wasn't going to get renewed. And she was talking to Duran in the post, and they were talking, because I think that Duran suggested, well, why not, why didn't the OWN network pick it up? And I commented, I said, Oprah would have Kato and Noah fall in love with each other. They would be homosexual lovers if Oprah got a hold of Underground. She is the last person I want that script to get in the hands of. Oprah's so full of shit sometimes. Hi, Tina Davies. How are you doing? And Happy New Year to you. Yeah, she's not the one. I wish that they could have gone to a cable network. Actually, I would love to have seen an HBO or something pick it up, but I miss it. I really do miss it. I wish that they could just do one good movie that could, be whatever, everything that they needed to pile into season 3, whatever that would have been. I would love to see it. I would love to see that come back. That show was everything. God, I don't watch a lot of scripts. I watch bullshit ass, mind-numbing, stupid-ass reality TV for the most part when I want to look at TV shows. There's not a lot of scripted stuff out there that I like, but that was something that I loved. And that was kind of like what really helped my channel get started, because I didn't know like anything that I could just commit to doing for my channel. And that was the first thing that I felt like, this is important. Like, I don't want to review the show. I need to review this show because people need to hear about this, Yeah, it was that good to me. So if y'all are not familiar with Underground, for anybody who might have thought that slavery was some kind of walk in the park, check out Underground seasons 1 and 2. You can find it online somewhere, I'm sure. But yeah, that was everything. Well, anything else?
Yes, I think that's it for me.
Thank you so much. I can't believe we've only had 2 callers and we're already an hour, 30 minutes into this thing. Thank you so much, Tracy, because Tracy is, y'all, this topic comes to you. Oh, I see Instant Replay says she loves the tutors. Tracy, I'm gonna just put you on mute. Thank you so much. And please type something in the chat so that hopefully if there are some people out there who aren't already supporting you, they can go and support you. I have you on mute. If you want to just stay on hold and come back on the line, just type in the chat and let me know. Or if you want to hang up and maybe call back later, or just hang up, then let me know. But this topic comes to us courtesy of Tracy, A View from Tracy's Point. And that's who we were talking to for like pretty much the last 40 minutes or so. She brought the question to us because she just flipped the script on one of my other live streams.
The only person in this conference.
I'm the only person in this conference. That means that the line is clear in case anybody wants to call in. But, we asked the question in another live stream. Can you be Black and in an interracial relationship and be pro-Black? And so she's asking the question, well, can you be white and in an interracial relationship and ultra conservative? Then I added a second question, can you be white and in an interracial relationship and racist? And I think the answer to both of those questions is yes. Not necessarily it's going to be a successful relationship, especially if you're racist, because there are Black people who are also conservative, and that could work out well. But yeah, so that's what we're talking about. We've gone over an hour, which it's always my aim to make the live streams an hour. But I would agree. I see Well says the natives is, I guess if you mean Native Americans or Native people who they call people, Native, Indian, like to call them. But if that's what you're referring to, I would say 100% yes. You almost can't find Native Americans these days. But yeah, so does anyone else want to get in on the topic or anything before we close out? Oh, absolutely. There is no right or wrong race. You're absolutely right about that. If y'all want to call in, the call-in number is 1-347-514-7210. It's a conference line, so you'll need the PIN number, which is 168-5373. Let me know if you want to call, and if not, we can go on and close this thing out. I'm supposed to be going to a birthday dinner in about 20 minutes here. So let's see. What else are y'all saying? Thank you all for coming. And as always, y'all, anytime you see me streaming, I want you all to know, if you have a YouTube channel, it is always 100% fine with me for you all to network in my stream. I hope that every time I stream, at least one YouTuber gets some new support for their channel. Let's see here. Yes, just like there are people who are in relationships intersexes, just because a person is in a relationship doesn't mean they see their partner as an equal. Absolutely. 3 worst things in history, in my opinion: Black slaves, killing Native Americans, and Nazi Germany. Those are all 3 pretty messed up things, Gray Man Outdoors. I don't think that a lot of people are going to disagree with you. So yeah, anybody want to call, then feel free to call. If not, I thank you all for being here. And if you decide to support somebody who's in the chat, let them know. Let them know, hey, you know, I'm supporting your channel now. People might see that and think, well, this is a generous person, and they'll go and support your channel just because you're supporting somebody else. I'm big on YouTubers supporting other YouTubers. That's what helped me to build my channel to where it is now. Not that I'm where I want to be, but, you know, I'm moving along, and we all are. So I'm proud of all of us YouTubers in here. I'm proud of all of us content creators, and I'm thankful for everybody in here. Thankful that y'all kept the chat going, even with a little bit of whatever dissension we'll say, but as long as we can get back on track, we'll pick another topic. We'll get off of this one, obviously. And Tina is letting us know she sings on her channel. Jersey Kickboxing has a channel, and he it is what it is. Jersey Kickboxing. He's a guy from Jersey who does kickboxing and martial arts. If y'all want to learn about that, Gray Man Outdoors is going to teach you how to live off the grid, baby. He's going to teach you what you need to do to he's going to teach you some survival skills. And he misses Texas. Instant Ride Play has her channel where she reviews toys, and her channel is everything. It's so bright and pretty to look at, and actually one of the inspirations for me cleaning up that sunroom and making a real studio so that I can have a bright and beautiful background for people to see when they look at my channel, so that people can you know, feel a little bit more welcomed instead of seeing like everything looking kind of like a drowned out different shades of brown when they look, you know, at me. So let's see here. Thank you. And yeah, Instant Right Play, she showed me a whole lot of love. She super chatted me $20.19 to start my year off right, and it helped. Thank you very much. And Right Up Way, thank you for my super chat today. I appreciate that. You know, as always, that's just like the little icing on my cake. As long as we can keep the conversation going, and you know, it was 2 calls today, but 2 really dynamic calls. So I feel like I could say that we only got 2 callers, but the callers were the better part of the content of the show today, which is the aim. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything if nobody else calls in. Like, this was beautiful to me. This is what I want to do. This is what where I want to put my focus for 2019 is for the call-in streams, because I like to hear from y'all. So thank you very much again, American Copperhead, for getting it started, and for Tracy for finishing it off, as well as giving us our topic. Again, I'm going to ask for you all to go to A View from Tracy's Point channel and report one of her videos as some kind of community violation, just so that we can get YouTube to go back and look at her channel and give her the monetization that she deserves. I don't want to put myself down, but I will say that Tracy is someone who deserved to have been monetized months before I was, and it did not happen, and it has not happened yet. Tracy literally has a video on her channel that has more views than almost all of my channel has. And she's been kicking out great content for a long time on YouTube, and somehow she's getting overlooked. And I'm really tired of it, but I don't have any kind of reach to Google or YouTube to tell them, hey, go and don't overlook this woman. It's been, I know, more than 6 months, Instant Ride Play. I think it's been more than 7 or 8 months at this point. So I don't know exactly how long it's been, but it's time. And the reason that I say that is because when I was waiting for monetization, and during that time was when my one of my reviews for Hell's Kitchen got reported with the community strike, and YouTube just took the video down, but then I appealed it and they put it back up, and like literally like the same week I was approved for monetization. And I kind of feel like, well, just because they had to mess around with my channel at all, that was the reason why, oh, well, okay, well, we'll go on and side with her on this appeal, and we'll go on and approve her for monetization. She's earned it. So I just kind of feel like maybe that'll be something that'll kickstart Tracy, because I want to see her earning something for what she does, because she's amazing. She's really amazing. Thank you. You love my voice a long time. Well, I appreciate you. I hope that you have a good day. I hope that everybody's having a good first day to 2019. Y'all, let's just make this year everything that it's supposed to be. Let's make it one of our best years yet. Let's just keep pushing, keep going, keep supporting each other. All of your, whether you made resolutions, plans, or goals, let's get them. Let's hit them. Let's do it this year. Let's see. People should contact Team YouTube on Twitter and ask and tweet that she's been working. Oh, okay. Well, then I'll do that. That's something that I can do. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for giving us a great topic today. We've gone almost 2 hours. So I'm just going to go on and, okay. So we see that, y'all, if y'all want to support Tracy, I will hit them up. Yes, 2019 is going to be our year. Ride Up Boys losing 50 pounds. I'm competing in my first fitness competition at the age of 42. I hope that they'll give me a trophy, probably just for being the oldest woman in the competition, but I'm still going to work hard to be able to compete regardless. So, but I wouldn't mind, the oldest lady participation trophy, as long as it's really big. I don't want one of them little, I don't want it to look like a participation trophy, or they just give me like a green ribbon, for showing up. But I'm gonna work hard. Like, we all got some goals. Let's just pull together and make this stuff happen. We can do it. We can do it. So thank you, Instant Ride Play, Team YouTube on Twitter. Okay, I will do that. And I'm gonna say, hey, give her a look. What's up? What's up with that? I'll have to do it on my computer so that I can post a link to her channel with my tweet. Thank you all. I love you all. My voice is about to start cracking. So I'm going to sip some water and then count down from 10. And I'll see y'all on the next stream, and I'll see you on your channels too. Here we go. 10. And I'm watching the chat just in case. I want to reach 10K this year, lose 10 more pounds, and do a 5K. All very doable. You will. I know you meant lose and not loose, but I think all that's going to happen for you easily. Instant Ride Play. You seem like a goal-oriented woman, and I know you can make that happen. Okay, now I'm counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love you all. Thank you all so much for spending part of your New Year's Day with me here on Tested with Ty. And Jersey Kickboxing will call next time. I bet you will. And I'm looking forward to whatever it is you have to say. Don't run my viewers off, please. I need them. All right. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. Have a great year. I know you haven't called me since last year. I haven't had a donut since last year. I need to have one. Anyway, bye, y'all. Love y'all. Don't mind me. I'm tired. All right. See you. Bye, y'all. Love y'all. I'm ending the stream right now.